A new email has surfaced, and it could change everything for Prince Andrew. It's short, almost casual, but its final line might be the most damaging thing he's ever written. It ends with, "We are in this together." And that one phrase could unravel years of royal denial. Because this isn't just another rumor, it's a direct challenge to what Prince Andrew himself claimed in his now infamous BBC Newsnight interview. Back then, he swore he'd cut off ties with the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein after that awkward 2010 trip to New York. But this new leak paints a different picture, one that suggests their connection lasted months longer, maybe even deeper than anyone realized. So the question everyone's asking now is simple, yet explosive. What can the king actually do about his brother's scandals? Few royal stories have dragged on like this one. For years, Prince Andrew has been at the center of whispers, headlines, and full-blown outrage. And every time, the palace insists the same thing: he's no longer a working royal. But let's be honest, being a Windsor isn't a job you can just resign from. It's a bloodline. And that's what makes this situation so uniquely toxic for King Charles. The new email, reportedly from February 2011, throws everything into question. If true, it proves Andrew stayed in contact with Epstein after he publicly said he'd cut ties. It suggests not just friendship, but loyalty. And the line, "We are in this together," doesn't sound like a man trying to distance himself. It sounds like a man defending a connection he didn't want to end. But that was only the beginning. Inside Buckingham Palace, there's growing tension, because each new revelation brings calls for punishment. Public outrage demands that the monarchy do something. But what can the king actually do? Titles? Gone. Royal duties? Gone. Public trust? Long gone. Yet Prince Andrew still enjoys privileges that most would consider royal perks. King Charles is said to have run out of levers. He can cut off money. He can restrict appearances. But he can't unmake a brother. And with another Christmas approaching, the royal family's unofficial message seems clear: stay away. According to insiders, Andrew and his ex-wife Sarah Ferguson won't be invited to the traditional Christmas gathering at Sandringham. Last year's alleged spy scandal already kept him out, and this year's Epstein email saga seals it. Even the king's Christmas broadcast, the annual family montage, will reportedly be scrubbed of Andrew completely. No photos. No mentions. Nothing. One royal insider joked, "The only King Andrew will see this Christmas is Good King Wenceslas." But isolation alone doesn't solve the problem. Because the question hanging over the monarchy is simple: if Andrew refuses to step away entirely, can the king force him? Let's talk about Royal Lodge, the sprawling 30-room mansion Andrew has called home since 2003. Many thought King Charles could push him out. But legally, he can't. Andrew has an independent lease with the Crown Estate that runs until 2078. It's ironclad. And because the costs were paid up front, there's little financial reason for him to leave. He's dug in. If he can keep up the bills, he can stay, whether the king likes it or not. So that's where it gets awkward. The king may wear the crown, but property law doesn't bend for royalty. And this time, blood ties protect more than reputation, they protect real estate. Still, Charles has tried other tactics, financial ones. Reports claim he cut off Andrew's royal allowance last year. But the Duke of York seems to have other income streams, business ventures that raise eyebrows of their own. Connections with China. Deals in the Gulf states. Even a short-lived project with a Dutch startup. It's been said that Andrew has built quiet financial independence since leaving public life. Enough to keep the lights on at Royal Lodge, and his private security funded. That independence might make him feel untouchable. Because if he's no longer reliant on the crown, the king's leverage shrinks to almost nothing. He can freeze him out socially, but not economically. And that, some insiders whisper, is what truly frustrates Charles. Behind closed doors, senior royals are said to be deeply anxious. Every new headline about Epstein or leaked emails drags the monarchy back into a scandal it's been trying to bury for years. It's not just Andrew's reputation at stake, it's the image of the entire institution. A king who promised a slimmed-down monarchy now finds himself trapped in the shadow of his brother's past. And every time Andrew's name trends, it chips away at the credibility the crown is fighting to rebuild. Some advisors reportedly want a clean break. Others warn it would make things worse. An open feud inside the royal family could look even more damaging. So the palace chooses silence. A silence that feels louder every year. And that brings us to the heart of it. What can the king really do? He can strip titles. He can withhold invitations. He can edit Andrew out of official videos, out of photos, even out of history books. But he can't erase him from the family. Not from blood. Not from memory. So maybe this isn't a question of power. Maybe it's about legacy. How does a king protect the crown when his own brother keeps pulling it into scandal? And how long can silence keep working when the headlines keep coming back? At this point, Prince Andrew's future in the royal family seems frozen, socially exiled, yet still present. A man the monarchy can't acknowledge, but also can't ignore. And for King Charles, that might be the hardest role of all, not as monarch, but as brother. So what do you think? Should the king go further, or has he already done everything in his power? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you want more royal deep dives like this, hit subscribe, because the next royal chapter could be the most explosive yet.